Coming up, we'll get a look at Melvin Gordon, fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
It is loud and it is wet here, Coach, as we welcome you inside CenturyLink Field on a patented rainy afternoon in Seattle, Washington. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. This is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll have Cam Newton calling the shots, the big man under center at 6'5", nearly 250 pounds.
And what a performance in his last game. Couple of touchdown passes, that was positive.
But more than 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's not what he's looking for. What did Vince Lombardi say, though? Winning isn't everything.
It's the only thing.
And that's what he hangs his hat on after last week's game.
On 1st and 10, Newton. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's Newton. Got a man. That's Allison. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
A gain of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Watch your slack. Watch your slack.
A shotgun snap for Newton. Got a man, Slayton. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Atlanta.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
There goes Melvin Gordon. Touchdown, Falcons. Melvin Gordon, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. Here's Breida. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Once again, they run with Breida on 1st down. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Even from up here in the booth, the play-by-play guy could tell that there was some pretty good blocking on the right side of the line.
Well, you have good eyes, and it's almost like a ballet when it's executed that well. Everyone in the right spot, everyone in sync, everyone hitting the perfect notes. A little more percussion and a lot more bass, I would think, than you get your normal ballet. But at the same time, that was well executed.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. Avery Williamson there to make the stop. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
An offensive line play is not something that comes to mind readily, but it's always a big key in a ball game. And already these guys, they're getting it done up front. As we've seen this rushing attack have some early success.
Now it's Breida. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
So we got man. Check 13. Check 13. 40.
Play action. It's Wilson. That's going to be caught. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Antonio Brown. His 9th touchdown of the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is taken at the 3. It's a foot race. The 40, the 30, 10, touchdown, Falcons. The kick return touchdown goes for 97 yards. And the Falcons push further out in front. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch. And you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
And quite a bit of razzle-dazzle and electricity on that return. It goes for 97 yards. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll begin the drive with Breida. Brought down by the cornerback, William Jackson. Time to see how Atlanta will line up defensively. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Numbers don't tell you everything, but they do paint a pretty good picture. We're talking about 2 top 5 units going at each other. One in running the ball, one in stopping the run. I think this is going to be a whole lot of fun myself.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Wilson now off the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Falcons grab it. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. This is Breida. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. He gets it to Brown, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a 1st down. Of course, he's coming off that NFC Offensive Player of the Week performance. 2 scores in that game a week ago.
And how did he get them? Speed is one thing, but how about the niftiness in his route running, able to cross people up in the secondary and make sure that they can't quite get to him before the ball arrives. He's something after the catch as well.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Play action. Now Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. This will be caught by Brown. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
They come out here in the eye. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And they'll run it here. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see.
End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A 2-yard touchdown grab, as they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Gold to add the extra point. And this time he gets it to go as it is up and good. The 10-play drive that time. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And thus far, the... Now Wilson on first down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
And always sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Matt Breida, 79 yards. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Now Gold for the extra point. And this one's back to an 8-point game. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Melvin Gordon. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. This pass complete to Higgins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Over the middle here to Brown. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. Here's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Antonio Brown, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. And again, it's no good. A few boo birds coming out as he's missed his 2nd extra point here in the first half. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here now a look at Melvin Gordon at his current pace. Sure looks well in line for a 1,000-yard season, but some of the older folks watching that remember the 12-game seasons in the NFL probably say, man, it was a lot harder to do that back then.
Yeah, even the 14-game seasons. And, you know, when we talk to those veteran runners, some of those guys who wear gold jackets, right, and appear in Canton, they look at this and go, you know, it's kind of like going to school and taking 5 years to get your degree instead of just 4.
A victory lap. Now, they also used to walk uphill to school both ways.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Blizzards.
Milk was 5 cents. Hey, but he's having a great year not to take anything away from him. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a 1st down for Atlanta. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Jonathan Coachman.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Things starting to get interesting in this final weekend before Thanksgiving. So let's see what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey. And it's the 49ers who are out in front with that game closing in on halftime. Devontae Freeman has a touchdown there. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see, currently they trail in that ball game. Stephon Diggs, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. Finally, let's get to Philadelphia. Check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And it was the visiting LA Rams who get the victory in that one. Matt Ryan leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. In our game, it was Cam Newton who led the way in that first half. His guys are out in front as we send you back up to the Pacific Northwest, where we rejoin Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. And anytime a receiver's over 100 yards like he is, maybe the D coordinator scratching his head a little bit. If you're the D coordinator, what are you doing? Whatever he's not doing?
That's the best way to put it, but you have to treat him like the hot shooter in basketball, the guy that's just not missing. You run enough people at him to make him give up the ball in basketball. In this case, you've got to cover him with enough people that they throw the ball to someone else and make them beat you.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They run forward with Breida. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. They'll run with McCaffrey. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Well, he can be a load to handle off the edge, and he can do it against the pass. Sure, he can do it against the run like he did there.
And you mentioned a load. How about having to adjust to his speed as well? Because not only does he bring some pop, he brings some dash as well. A nice play in that situation.
And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or two short. A solid run of 11 there as he tucked it and ran, but he's still short of the marker, and it's fourth. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on fourth down, and they're going to go for it. Now it's Wilson sliding out of the pocket. He can run for it, and he will. And he's got this down to the 35. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier in this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Wilson rolling to his right. And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down in bounds.
And that's why defenders are often frustrated offensive guys. Actually made the catch, looked good doing it, but couldn't get his feet down in order to finish off the takeaway.
Down here in the third quarter.
Check line 54. Line 54. Coming.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Buying time to his left. And he's going to keep it here. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
They'll rumble for about 6, up across the 20 to the 22.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go play action now. Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. To try again after the sack. Wilson. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Flushed out right. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. In a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. To throw again is Wilson. He's got the first down inside the 10 and all the way down to the 5. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Wilson off the bootleg. They'll roll him out right. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A 5-yard touchdown as they have now chopped this lead down to 3. And a play fake down near the goal line here worked out well.
Anytime you can make them think that you're going to run the ball and go to that play-action pass, you see the end result, usually a touchdown.
Is that harder? Is the play fake harder to defend for the defense near the goal line or no? Because there's not as much room to work with?
It is harder because down near the goal line, you're thinking much more of a running play, especially if people run out big formations. So it is harder to defend.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is down to 2. That time a 9-play drive, and the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half.
54 Mike. It's a alert.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
And they work this well upfield across the 45. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Wilson to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Brown. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Off the bootleg. Wilson, he'll buy some time right. And now he's going to use his legs. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
19.
Now a draw play to McCaffrey. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Here we go. Good job right there. I'll go special. Check 31.
Back to the ground on first, it's McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure the investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. He'll look to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Brings up 3rd down.
And we are set for a great finish as that timeout comes in with 2 seconds to go in this football game. So now it'll all come down to Robbie Gould. Footing obviously an issue in the driving rain. This one for the win. And his kick is good. Despite the rainstorm, a good snap, a good hold, and the kick went through. And they'll be celebrating in Pioneer Square tonight. The Seahawks have won the game. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for the Seahawks, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Falcons, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.